Hi, my name is James Russell and I play Jake. I've been on the show for 2 seasons now.
Hello, my name is Steve Davis and I play David Klotz on the show ARTic. I've been in the show for only about 1 season and 3 episodes-ish.
I just really like being a part of the cast and the show because I've gotten a chance to interact with a couple of the cast members just on social media, and it's really cool to be able to connect with people even though we're so far away. One of them lives in Canada, and here I am in like the southern part of the US, and it's really cool to be able to connect with folks that way.
I think it's quite a privilege to be a full-time character on the ARTic show, and I think it's quite a learning curve, especially for me, so I get to see what it's like being on an actual virtual collab. I think that's absolutely genius. And yeah, just the whole show itself, for me representing it, I think David's appearance was fate.
ARTic for me represents that there's an opportunity for actors, because it's really, really hard to do your own stuff, to create your own projects, because it's so hard to kind of coordinate people's schedules and meet up, find locations, find props, what have you. It's so challenging to get all the logistics of it. And what's great about ARTic is that we can have people spread out across the country, across the world really, and we can still meet up and we can film something, and we don't even have to be in the same place. And it's really cool that they're able to build a web series off of that, because that's not easy to do. That's really, really hard. And I think it's great that we can all make something that way. And it was really cool when I first got in the show and then started getting spread out on social media, and I saw so many comments. And I just had a small role. I just had like a couple lines. But it was really cool to see how interactive the community was that watches this show, and the people that were not to toot my own horn, but they were like, yeah, get him back on. That was really heartwarming for me, just to know that I was wanted. People wanted me to be on the show. And it's also really cool to see how interactive the community that watches the show is, because that's hard to build. And to be able to have that kind of a community, I think, is really rare, especially with web series, because they're so dispersed and few and far between. So to have that much passion for the show that a lot of the people that watch it do is really awesome.
I like to see the cast go to maybe the future or the past, like in a time machine or something, or in some sort of space, maybe. In space. I think that'd be really cool. Have like them on like a space base. I just rhymed. Rhymage, if that's even a word. But yeah, no, I think the moon base would be pretty cool. And maybe like an underwater sort of thing, like a James Bond sort of situation. I think that'd be really cool.
The topic or issue that I think would be cool to cover on the show is something with social media, because I had it when I was growing up, because it was MySpace. Yes, I'm that old. Back in the day of MySpace, everyone was kind of comparing how many friends each other had, and you couldn't really get in with the cool crowd unless you had enough friends. Like, oh, you only have 200 friends? I don't think he fits in with us. No, go sit over there. We're going to talk amongst ourselves. And so I think it'd be really cool to do something to that effect. And I know that a lot of, I know that today, at least, that's a big thing. Like for Instagram, a lot of kids are getting, like, they're so, for lack of a better word, they're kind of addicted to how many likes they get on a picture. And if they don't get enough likes, it really hurts their self-worth. And I think that'd be an interesting aspect to play with on the show, to see how the ARTic cast and the crew and the characters really would handle that.
Tobuscus. I think he would do an absolute fantastic job, especially at virtual collabs. So I think he would do a really good job for sure. Also, give my old pal Gaia Seed some love too.
I'm a big fan of the Achievement Hunter and Funhouse actors, I guess, on the show. That sounds offensive when I call them actors, but they are. I mean, they're pros. They've been in films. They create. What's really cool is they started on web series too. So if you don't know them, definitely go check them out. They're called Achievement Hunter, and they're also called Funhouse. Those are two separate channels, and they're really, really cool. They have some really funny personalities on there. It'd be great to have anyone from there on.
Yeah, I'd be down to do like an ARTic live stream if it's all planned accordingly. I think it would be really cool to see all the cast members together, especially on the live stream. So I think like one here, one here, one here, one here, one here. Even like to talk to one another, I think would be pretty cool. Especially, you know, like I think it's really neat for sure.
I'd love to do an ARTic live stream. I think that'd be awesome. Especially with, like I was mentioning earlier, how interactive and involved the community is. I think it'd be really cool to give them a chance to have some live performance, live showing, and again, another chance for us to interact with them, because the reason we're able to make the show is really because they watch it. So I'd love to be able to talk to those folks and interact with them.
I think he'd be in the type of field where he would just kind of join it by accident. So I think he would most likely be kind of in the introvert group, I think, because it sounds like that he doesn't really want to be anywhere. And
yeah, so Idaho Boys Season 2, we just finished and released the season finale, and it's changed a lot from Season 1, because Season 1 was very much kind of isolated, more episodic shows where they each kind of stand alone, each episode rather, whereas Season 2 is much more a narrative. There's something happening from the first season, the first episode that ties in and completes at the end of the season. Definitely been changes, but it's great because it's flowing the way that we want it to now. You know, we're getting character development, we're getting some real pushing the characters to some places that you wouldn't see them, which is fun. And it's great for comedy because there's so much conflict and desperation there for these characters to achieve their wants.
Yeah, I've been to VidCon 3 times. VidCon is really fun, and if you haven't gone, then I would say go at least once. Save your Krakens though, save your money, and plan accordingly, and then you will get what you want. Also update your passport and stuff too, that's pretty... You know, I think VidCon is definitely being more accepting, so I think it'd be really cool if there was an ARTic, or even just a virtual collab panel. You know, I think like even just to have the whole cast and then the show's creator there, and I think that would be really cool. That'd be really sweet.
Oh man. Yeah, the US election next year, who do I want to win? Well, the Democrats have such a wide field, and they're finally starting to kind of drop off now one after the other. Who do I want? I am absolutely leaning towards either Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren. I want a progressive. I want someone that's going to really advocate for big, bold things. I think some of the challenges that we've had with accomplishing things that the Democratic Party wants is that they are too half-measured. You know, they're too careful in what they do, so that when they shoot for the small things that they want, they end up getting even smaller amounts of that. Whereas I think if we get someone that can shoot for the big things, the really big things that we need to achieve, like climate change, for example, it would be nice to continue breathing air for the rest of the human survival. So I think we need to go for really, really big goals, and if we don't reach them, then we can start talking about compromise. But we have to shoot big.
Yes, I have a show called Why Bobby on Green Heat 13, and there's only 3 episodes so far out of 10. So we'll see what the other 7 episodes bring us. Filming that has been quite a riot, actually. Yeah, it's been really fun. So it kind of brings back the good memories of being on a YouTube channel.
My favorite politician to impersonate is absolutely Obama, hands down. Second would probably be Bill Clinton. But I really love doing Obama because he's just such a smart guy that it's so fun to kind of put him in scenarios where he can't cope with it. I did this one skit where he's trying to describe what it is in coffee, and if you like, what do you have in your cup there? Oh, I got coffee. Like, that's it. But for a guy like Obama, it's that is an excellent question. What do I have in this cup of mine? Well, for starters, it's warm. It's a warm liquid. It's a fluid. It's a fluid that is made of molecules. They interact, and it's one of the three main forms. There's solids, liquids, and gas. This is a liquid. And it's like, so I love doing those kind of things because it's so fun to do. And then, of course, there's always Bill, because he's just so crafty and wily. It's like, yeah, I was sneaking out again last night. They didn't see me, but I did it. I got away with it. And you know what I did? I went bowling. Yeah, you didn't think I'd be into bowling, but I love it. I'm a bowler. So, probably those two, but Obama, for sure.
I think Principal Willie's very, like, it's got that classic look. Like, it's, when you see Principal Willie, it's very classic, but great. And then you just look at that character, he's very sharp as well, and it just brings out more contrast. Sarah Kellison plays Jennifer Klotz. I think that was a perfect choice for a main character, especially that she is a fellow Canadian like myself. McKenna, who plays Rainbow, I think is very, very, very cool, and I think she will do great in upcoming seasons of ARTic.
Describing the characters in one sentence. Well, Principal Willie is pretty high-strung and demanding. Jennifer. Jennifer kind of seems to get in a lot of predicaments that aren't really her fault, and you feel bad for her. Rainbow. Rainbow is a bit of a troublemaker.
Thank you for watching this questionnaire, and please follow ARTic. Thank you for watching this questionnaire. Please follow ARTic TV. Thank you for watching this questionnaire. Follow ARTic TV on YouTube. See you around.